are looking at the palette today. So what colors do I use, why, where they are, and so you know when I'm dipping into them, what I'm touching. So this is my palette. It is painted gray. It looks almost identical to the palette they give you when you buy my easel, which is in Edge Pro gear, I think. But I keep breaking them. So I got this cut and you can do this like yourself. I went to the local glass store and got this cut and they rounded the edges for me and I painted the back of it with gray acrylic gesso from Michael Harding. And I have like 4 of these because I do break them that often. I don't know why. Chaos. So if you want to use a glass palette, if you want to replace a palette in your easel because you break it like I did, you could get any size made. This actually cost me €7. And when I ordered it from Edge Pro easel, it was €60 plus shipping. So kind of insanely easy and cheap to get your own glass palette, and I literally cannot tell any difference. So that's the palette. I've used white in the past, but they came with gray, and I started switching because the initial one came with gray. A lot of people do prefer gray because it's like the medium average value to compare everything against. Your lights look brighter because they're on a gray background. Your darks don't look so stark. That's just a personal preference thing. Probably what is a good idea is that the value and probably the paint, the tone, the color on your palette matches your canvas, because if you're mixing it here and on my canvas is white and I'm mixing on a gray palette, that you could imagine though that the difference between them, you have to like readjust, right? Because it's going to look different on a medium gray palette versus a white canvas. But look, those are just considerations. There's trade-offs for everything. Okay, let's go to the paint. So I've lined up my tubes here. I used to say that I use Sennelier. Terrible pronunciation, apologies. But now I use Michael Harding just because they're easier to get. So my palette is always organized in the same way. And so I was just painting, and so it's not like the most clean, just put on palette, but I will continually top up these colors. So left to right, we have King's Blue Light, right here. Caribbean Turquoise. Ultramarine Blue, of course. You see I have a very big pile, and I put the small tube out, but I do have like a giant tube I use because I go through a lot of this. Magenta. I've also used alizarin crimson, but for long-lasting paint, I'm trying to go to magenta. I do prefer alizarin crimson. But because magenta though is cooler than alizarin crimson, I kind of feel like I need a bridge color, which is some sort of pink. I've used quinacridone rose. Recently, opera rose came out from Michael Harding, and I've been playing with that. Cad red, cad orange, my favorite color. Anyone who's taken my workshops knows that cad orange is my favorite color. I consider cad orange kind of like Tom Cruise. It's like they're really fun, but you probably don't want to be alone with them. Or maybe that sounds weird. Maybe it's like he's really fun, but probably not one-on-one. That's more like what it is, some people like that, and that's okay. So with cad orange, I guess what I mean by this is that I don't know if I've ever applied it. I probably have, but I rarely apply cad orange directly ever to the painting. Like even if I'm painting oranges, I wouldn't put cad orange on because it's so wonderfully powerful, which makes it a great mix with other paints. And in fact, cad orange and alizarin crimson, now magenta, sadly, is my favorite combination ever. It creates the most beautiful pinks. Okay, cad yellow. And this one is just a cool semi-transparent or transparent yellow, which I kind of change up. So I have to actually check because I couldn't find the one I had before. Yeah, lemon yellow. So it's not a cad though. You see it's cooler. It's a greenish yellow, and it will usually have transparency, either full transparency or semi-transparency. There's like bismuth. It's not supposed to say mouth. It's like bismuth yellow. Other yellows, lots of yellows. So what I'm saying is this one is variable. Yellow ochre, opaque. And this one here, I don't usually paint with very much, but I have it on here. Green gold, that's what it's called. Green gold, solvent-free gel. This is where I would squeeze out the solvent-free gel. It's got some paint in it right now. And of course, titanium white. There's a few other things on my palette. Down here I just have things that are left over. Sorry, my screensaver. Drink a tea here. So I have a few things that are left over. And then here I have some kind of green I just threw on. I'm not even sure which one. It's not Phthalo green, it's something else. But I was just painting plein air and I threw green on, but that's never part of my palette. So this would be like a full palette for me. But I normally don't paint with all these colors. So the Caribbean turquoise, actually, you know what? I have been painting with that a lot more now. Yeah, these two used to be kind of interchangeable. So yeah, I would say like I will use all of the three blues in any painting. I rarely use gold green in a painting. The Opera Rose, as I mentioned, is a new one. But usually the standard is a a cool and warm version of each color. So a cool and warm blue, which would be, that's why I have the Caribbean turquoise on here and the ultramarine. A cool and warm red. Orange is bonus. Warm and cool yellow. Yellow ochre is like bonus color. Green gold is a bonus color. So it's just this, and this would be a complete palette for me. Everything else is because I've been very good and I can treat myself with extra colors. So that is my palette. I'll paint on this. And yeah, you can see where I've dipped in, so I kind of like dip in my brush, but you want to keep the main piles clean. This is my dirty pile of white, so if I'm mixing something that I know is going to be muddy, then I will use my muddy white pile. What else to say? I think that's probably all there is. So yeah, so that's my palette, and if you have any questions, let me know. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. So I was like, do I need to ramble more? No, I don't need to ramble more. So happy days and happy painting. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon.